So, in the lesson this evening, I'm going to cover an approach that we need to take whenever we're learning anything on guitar. I have a framework I call the triads of P, or the three P's of learning to play guitar, and that is we need to plan. That's the first P. We need to plan what our practice is and how we're going to approach it. The second P is we need to persist. We need to keep at it whenever we hit roadblocks and we are struggling with things that we are finding difficult, because it's the same for all guitar players, regardless of what level that you're at. For whether you're a beginner or whether you're at advanced level, you will come across things that you find difficult to play and that you need to spend a bit of time and effort and work in trying to play it as accurately as you possibly can. And the third P is patience. Okay, we need to just keep patient and trust that if we have a good plan in place, we persist and work at it, we'll get there. So the focus really this evening is on the planning and of our practice. One of the frameworks that I have is what I call breaking our piece of music down into musical bite-sized chunks. We use a knife to cut up the food, and we break that down into sizable chunks to make it easy for us to swallow and enjoy the food. And it's the same. We have to take that same sort of approach whenever we're playing something on guitar, and that is the thing that overwhelms us all. If we have to learn a new song or a new piece of music on guitar, you hear the whole piece and you immediately think, oh my goodness, how am I ever going to learn all of those parts? So you have to take that musical bite-size chunks approach where you chop down the piece of music into more manageable chunks or sizes that enable you to be able to learn the piece more comfortably. So I'm going to take a look at a little piece of just a very simple melody. And I've tabbed it out here, and the melody is just a melody based on the notes of the G major scale. Okay, so you can see we're playing that over strings 6, 5 and 4. And again, this is a very simple melody, but it's a melody that I'm using just to demonstrate the process of musical bite-sized chunks, how we go about putting that into play. So what I would do is I'd take that melody, which has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 notes over 2 bars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that down into musical bite-sized chunks. What I'm simply doing is taking a couple of notes at a time. It's easier for me then to play the melody. I'm not worrying about trying to play the whole piece. I'm not getting too caught up about the performance at this point. I'm just learning the guitar piece by breaking it down into musical bite-sized chunks. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the first 3 notes. As you can see, we're on string 6, the 3rd fret. Okay, so in this case, I'm using the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret, string 6, first finger on the 2nd fret of string 5, and then wee finger on the 5th fret. So those are the first 3 notes. So I take some time to put that together and be sure that I'm playing that correctly, that I'm playing that smoothly. And it's that point then I shall move on to the next stage. Now, what I'm going to do in this case is I'm just going to play these 2 notes, the next 2 notes of the melody. And that we're moving on to string 4. And I'm using my wee finger on fret 5. And I'm moving from 5 to 4 with wee finger to the 4th finger. So I'm just getting a handle on those 2 notes, the phrasing and the timing of the note. And then what I'll do is I'll put the full melody together, go back to the start. And once I've got that comfortably played, I'll move on to the final part. So again on string 4. now I'm going to put the whole of the melody together once I've broken that down. So that's the musical bite-sized chunk approach to learning a melody on guitar, and that is part of the framework of what I call the 3 Ps. So you're planning your practice. That's the first P of planning, working out what you're going to do and how you're best going to do it. The second P is we're persisting. We're making sure that we work at it. We just have to be very disciplined to make sure that we play the piece accurately. We just have to keep at it, and we have to be patient with it. So musical bite-sized chunks. So anything that you're trying to learn, I suggest what you do is you break that down into musical bite-sized chunks.